simplifying our accounting with Zoho Books application. When I say books, this includes uh, 7 other applications that comes along with the finance application. That goes with inventory, invoices, checkouts, expense, and also commerce application, and much more. So let's quickly jump into the agenda for today. We will be having a quick look of how the Zoho Books and what Zoho Books is all about. And we will be, I will be walking you through the inventory tracking and management and how you can automate your invoice creation along with the bulk and recurring invoices. And we also walk you through the online payment gateway integrations, how the online payment integration, when you're doing it to your website or the e-commerce platform, how that can be reflecting on your Zoho Books, along with the tax management, the website integration with real-time updates. When I say real-time updates, I'm talking about your stocks. When you're making any changes in your stock, that will reflect on the Zoho Books inventory as well. And finally, we'll be having a quick look into the reporting of how effectively you can show your business when you're podcasting yourself as a business and showcase the business slides and the analysis that you have for your business. So let's start with what is books. So it is very simple. When I say books, everybody will be I'm sure everybody have access books application or how it works. It's why books is very important when it comes to business. It's not just with accounting, right? You're not only going to have a track of how much you have spent so far, how much you have received, how your business is making up. All the details will be reflecting on your books application. And this books not only gives you the option to manage your accounting. It also helps you with tracking your products, making changes, shipping from one warehouses to the other, and much more to it, right? So, as I said, this is an easy to use online accounting software designed for the business to manage the finance and stay on top of their cash flow. And creating an invoice every time a customer is placing an order in your on your e-commerce website, it can be a recurring one. So if it is going to be a recurring one, you can enable the option to send an invoice automatically from your Zoho Books and accept online payments. When I say accept online payments, we have platforms that can be integrated. This is not just Zoho Books, I'm sorry, Zoho application. We also allow third-party applications which can be integrated for your payment gateways, which will allow you to receive and have a track of your payments and your cash flow as well, which is very much important when it comes to financing or managing your finances. So as I said, this books application also comes along with an inventory option where you can track your stocks, you can make purchase orders, and the inventory. These options that I'm saying right now, let's say you have a particular product which is a count of 10, and if it is going below 5, there is an option where you can automate your reminders to ensure that the order has been raised. And this integration, as I was saying, the integrating not just Zoho application, but also with the third party e-commerce platform as well. Let me walk you through what exactly the books application looks like. So this will be Zoho Books. The page will give you the overall information of your revenue, your total payables, your incomes and expenses. This particular page that you're looking right now is also customizable, and you can make changes according to your business requirement, right? So the first thing that I'm going to walk you through, guys, is the items. Let's start with a very basic business. So to start a business, we need to have a product. It could be a good or it could be a service. So there are two types of products that can be added. So let's go with the goods, with a physical product, right? So when it comes to products, it can be defined into two different types. One is a physical stock, and the other one is the accounting stock. What is a physical stock? Physical stock is something that you actually have at your warehouse, right? Let's say I have a house, I have a small warehouse. I have an idea of making magnets that can be attached to your to your fridge or someplace else, which with a memory of a particular photo, right? So this is an idea. So when I'm trying to start this business, I need goods to make that business, right? So it cannot magically come out of nowhere with a picture of a great memory attached to a magnet. So to do this, we need a machine, we need products, we need magnets, we need stickers that can be stick to the back of the photo, we have to print it. So these are all the things which are very basic when it comes to a business. So I start by purchasing a particular machine, right? I cannot go ahead and purchase a machine out of nowhere. I need to know someone, and from that particular someone, I need to borrow a machine. I need to borrow products. I need to buy magnets and stuffs that are very much necessary for a business. So this particular business that I'm talking about, so the person I am purchasing the products from, they are named as vendors, right? So the particular vendor from whom I am purchasing these products, that particular everything, the communication which is happening with that particular vendor will be reflecting on your purchases. So the purchases is the place. If you go to books application on the left hand side panel, you will find purchases, and these are all the options which are given, which will allow you to manage your purchases that you're doing with your vendors. And the above option is the sales option. It, the name itself quite is definite, that it, the sales that you're doing to your customers is what you manage in this particular tab. So the difference is the sales is what you do sale to your customer, and the purchase is something that you buy from your vendors to make your business run a very smooth way, right? So when everything comes into place, we definitely need to have the inventory management benefits, right? So why inventory management is very use for every business is to make sure that we fulfill the orders of our customers. To make sure that we fulfill the order of our customers, we have to we have to make sure that the stocks are in available place. Even if the stocks are going less, we take it as an accounting stock. In the initial, as I explained, physical stock and accounting stock, we have to make sure that the accounting stock is enabled so that you are receiving orders. In the meantime, you can enable or buy it from the vendor and make it for your customers, right? And this inventory management will give you a better inventory visibility, right? You cannot keep on writing or make notes of the stocks that has been sent or the stocks that you have received. So to make sure we have every visibility of your business, we need the inventory visibility. And this, by enabling the option, if let's say for example, if you're adding a product to your inventory, in my case, I have different sizes of magnets that can be attached, right? So let's say I have a small magnet, let's say 4 to 4 inches. In that particular case, I'm having less number of those products which can be sold to the customer online, right? So in that particular case, to plan that inventory and make it ordering accordingly, I will enable the option where it says if this particular stocks goes less than 50 or less than 20, I receive an email which is automated. So by receiving this particular email, I will get to know that my stock is less. So I go ahead and talk to my vendor to pull up more products and enable this. And this, by doing all this in the background, this will give us an improved customer satisfaction. So the quicker that you send your products to the customers, the more satisfied they are, right? And this will also enable the optimized financial decisions. So when I say cash flow, every product that you sell or the product that you're buying will give you an idea how your cash flow is happening in your organization, right? And it will also improve your organization with your warehouses. Uh, in my case, I have one particular place, in the garage where I do my magnets. So if I'm expanding, let's say in one region, I'm not able to, sell my product to. So in that cases, I'm expanding where I can buy another warehouse, give my products there. So the reachability of the products or the products which are sent is easily delivered to our customers. So this is very important when it comes to inventory management. We are going to quickly look into the objectives of the inventory management. As I said, the meeting customers' demands and you minimize the holding stocks, ensuring that you order only when it's absolutely necessary and you avoid stockouts. And this is very good efficiently enabling the cash flow of your business and maintaining the accurate records, right? So inventory tracking management, this is very key, and the process of tracking and controlling your stocks and goods, including raw materials. As I said, the raw materials are nothing but before the actual magnet comes, there are raw materials like a two-sided tape or a glass or the photo that has to be attached to that particular material. These are raw materials before it actually becomes into a product. This ensures the business maintaining in the right quantity of stock to meet the demands with the minimum costing, right? This will also allow you to automate your stock levels, right? To automate your stock levels, it will help you to monitor your stocks which are coming in and going out as well. This will easily reflect when you're creating your invoice, bills, or payments as well. Throughout the conversation, I did mention that you can set the reorder point, right? So when you're setting a reorder point, this will help us not to buy too many stocks, which can go unused, so that we are setting the right expectation for our business, which will allow you to keep your stocks at place and ensure providing the customer with the stock which you have and not run out of the items, right? So let's go ahead and see how this actually works in the Zoho Books application, right? So on the left-hand side of your screen, you will be finding the option called items. So the items are segregated as few more. The items is very basic. Items is where you add all your goods, the goods that are available at your warehouses, and you can, when you're adding an item, you don't have to actually add different items. Let's say one particular magnet with different sizes, right? So that particular product, when you're adding it as a product, you can just refer the SKU number, which is the goods number, and that particular unit will be referring with this specific number. This is named as goods and a magnet and the unit. The unit is the numbers which can be segregated in, and you can manage it on the categories as well. Once all these items are added, you will be able to see them in your items as one of them. Once the items of your goods are in the list, it is available, which can be reflecting on your Zoho inventory for sale in your e-commerce website. Item groups. Item groups are, as you can see on the screen, it says photo print or a short sleeve t-shirt, right? In the photo print, there are 8 items which are grouped, right? All of them are t-shirts which can be included based on prices and sizes as well. As you can see, there are different sections for this particular unit, or sizes and pieces are available, which is different. So we are grouping all these particular items into one. Next off is the price list. So the price list is what you define based on the products that you actually have. Let me show to you. This is one of the price lists. So the price list will give you the option of the varieties of the prices available for the goods. And the sales, when it comes to sales, we have different segments which can be grouped into one particular price. Since we have been discussing about the inventory, I'm also going to walk you through what inventory adjustments is all about. So to adjust your inventory, the first thing that you need to have is 2 different warehouses. Let's say I have six magnets or t-shirts at one place, and that particular t-shirts are required to a different warehouse. In that particular warehouse, an order has been placed for a customer for three t-shirts, right? So since I'm having six t-shirts in warehouse one, I'm going to adjust these three t-shirts to warehouse number two. By doing this, we are managing our warehouses in two different places and ensuring that we are meeting our customer needs. So is transfer orders. So transferring order is the order that we already have at a particular place. If it is not available, we can transfer that order to a different warehouse. So that will be all for the inventory management. We are gonna next we're gonna talk about the reasons of automating your invoice processing. So why automating your invoices is very important. We would be looking into reducing the material cost, right? The material cost will be reduced because we are placing orders only for the required numbers. And the most important thing is it will lower your human error. When you are actually typing, there are a lot of fields which has to be included when you're trying to place an order or update an order or add an item, right? In that particular cases, there is a slightest possibility that there could be a human error. So we are going to reduce that. And quicker payment processing. Once you have enabled the payment portal on your books, every time an estimate or an invoice has been sent to the customer, it will allow the customer to pay online. There are options where we have that can give us to use UPI and much more options. The option that I mentioned is from here. Uh, so these options will be enabled when you're integrating your paymenting gateway. This will streamline processes for your employees, whoever is working. In my garage, I have 5 people working. So this will allow them to streamline, even if one order has been placed by another person, that will reflect on your books application so that everybody is on the same page. Let's jump into the automating and how the invoicing processing works, right? So automating your invoice helps your business to streamline the billing processes, right? As the item itself, when you try to add an item, it gives you two options, right? One is the goods and the other one is the service. So for goods, it is not necessary that a person will be buying it again and again, right? But when it comes to service, there are different types of services that we offer, uh, which is a great example is Netflix. So every month, a Netflix account has to be renewed, right? So you don't have to sit and send an invoice for a particular customer and see or remind the customer to pay for this particular Netflix account that he has been using. So here we enable this option so that an invoice is already triggered by the end of 30 days of the subscription. This will reduce, as the previous slide mentioned, this will reduce manual error and ensure timely payments from your customers. Yes, and it is also a structured, detailed invoice. You can define every invoice. You can create your own invoice. You can customize it based on your needs. You can include a message. Everything can be done when it comes to creating an invoice. So this transparent communication, which reduces the disputes in your accounting as well. The cash flow, which I was talking about, is very more important in the business. So this will allow us to make sure that we are not having any latency in whatsoever places. This will give you the last part that we will be discussing is the reports. This will give you the real-time reports on the invoices, payments, outstanding dues. Everything can be viewed on the reports panel. And this will give you a digital audit trail for easy tracking and the verification, which is much of an enhanced data, I would say, to secure by the security to store invoice records and safely in the cloud. Since the books is a SaaS application, you everything that you do for your business is cloud based. So let's see how you do this invoicing in the Zoho Books application, right? So the the part where we deal with our customers is on the sales section, right? So the sales gives you the customers, the estimates. Estimates is to give you an understanding. It's just a quote. uh, One of your customers comes and talks to you saying, I'm interested in your item, I want to buy it, but he's going to buy it in a huge number, right? So in that particular place, in your garage or in your warehouse, you don't have the number of items that are requested, right? In that case, you create a quote for your customer. When you create a quote, the user or the customer who has reached out to you will be getting a email stating the estimate. Let me show to you how it looks. This is one of the estimates. This is sent. I have three different options just for your understanding. So once an estimate is created, the customer will reply saying that he accepted it. Once the customer has accepted it, you get an option that says a sales order. Once the sales order is generated, then it will be moved into an invoice, right? So I will be showing it to you in this particular case. If you see this right now, you have the estimate created for a specific customer, right? By creating this, the user will receive something called estimate here. Uh, you might be getting confused of why the screen is this way. I'll explain that to you as well. So the moment I send an invoice or create an estimate, my customer will be receiving an estimate. So this is the estimate that has been received from the seller to the customer. When I click on estimate, I will be redirected to a page where I will be able to see it. So I clicked on uh, copy this link and open in a browser. So that is this browser, right? The moment you uh, open the link, you will be asked to sign in. The moment you sign in, all the transactions that you have done with the business perspective will be reflecting here. So this estimate that you're looking right now is what I'm gonna confirm. The moment I click on pay now, I will be redirected to a page. Yes. So the invoices which I already had is paid, which is why it is not reflecting. So this estimate, as you can see that I have sent, is in the accepted status. When we go back to books, this will be the case for an accepted estimate. So once the quote has been accepted, I'm going to convert this into an invoice. There are two options where you can do. One, you can convert to sales order, or you can convert into an invoice. When I convert into a sales order, all the orders will be reflecting here. Since I was explaining how you can bulkly invoice, right? So let's take a scenario where you have received 15 orders, sales order from your WooCommerce or someone who has physically purchased. So for physical purchases, you have to manual entry, but for purchases which are done on your e-commerce site, all the estimates or the sales which has been made will be falling into your sales order place. But how do you do this bulk invoicing? You select all your invoices or sales order which has been raised, and you have the option to convert to invoices. So every time you convert an invoice, the invoice will be sent to your customers for them to pay and accept the order, right? So this is how you bulkly invoice the invoices that you have received for your company, right? Here, there is one more quick thing that I would like to add. I'm sure everybody has gone through every other feature which is available. There is also an option which is called retainer invoice. What is retainer invoice? Retainer invoice is uh, is something. Let's say you have a bulk order, as one of the examples. 50 products is required from your customer. but the customer, and you accepted the order and you sent an estimate. Once the estimate has been sent, the customer wants to negotiate, right? In that particular case, we can enable this retainer invoice. When you create a retainer invoice, what actually happens is you will be given with an option where your customer can pay what he or she can at the very moment and pay the remaining in the latter part of the deal. So this gives you the option where you can give your customers to pay a little less and pay the remaining later. That is how the retainer invoice works. I'm just choosing the item. And as you see, these are the payment gateway options that has been enabled from my end for your customers to pay. So I hope you can understand how the retainer invoices works. And once the retainer invoice is sent to your customers, they will pay the less. And the remaining will be reflecting on this particular account. When you are creating an invoice for the same customer, the remaining amount will be applicable for that customer. In this case, I've chosen one of the accounts. As you can see, one of the invoices, the purchase was made for 699. So there are two payments received, as you see. One is the retainer invoice, the person that has paid half of it, and the remaining has been paid in the second part of the invoice. So that is where you use your retainer invoices for your customers who cannot pay the complete amount at the very first moment. And you can record these payment as well. Once you record these payments, once the payments has been recorded as received, you can apply to that new invoice for the same customer. Okay, so far we have completed the automating and invoicing for the customers. And next, most important thing when it comes to business is your payment gateway, right? So how will you, it's if it is going to be a physical good or you're going to have a warehouse just one particular place, you cannot expand your business. So to expand your business, you need an online platform to let people know that you have such stocks, right? So once you enable that e-commerce website, you need a support from your payment gateways to receive payments from your customers, right? So that is when this will help you to grow your business without making any changes or without moving from one place to another. You can manage your finances, right? So for this, you need a store which is already there. And once the payment gateway is enabled, the processing will be happening. And this will go to the bank. And again, from the merchant's account, which is from the customers to your account. So the key features of the online payment gateway, which is integrating this online payment gateway with books, allows business to accept payments seamlessly. And since the option is enabled, you have options of credit card, debit cards, bank transfers, and digital wallets as well. This will ensure faster payments and improve the customer's experience as well. These are the basic platforms which are globally supported. And the for US and Canada, we have Squire and WePay, right? I'll quickly show it to you on the particular application itself. So I'm raising an invoice for one of our customers. I'm choosing a product. One of the product has been chosen. And as and on the initial part where I mentioned about the uh, as a retainer invoice, this is where you enable that. You allow the customer to make partial payments here as well. And these payments, which are available when you integrate those payment portals to your inventory application. Once this is done, you send the invoice. Once you send the invoice, your customers will be receiving an invoice. So this is the invoice that I've received at this very moment for the purchase that has been made. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to click on, since I have already logged into this specific account, which is receiving the email, I'm going to log into the same account. So this is the account. So if you click here, as you see, the invoice which I raised right now is reflecting on your account. This is the email to which I have sent the invoice. The moment I click on pay now, there is one more option which I forgot to mention. You can also add your comments to the invoices, which will reflect on the invoice that has been raised from your Zoho Books. So the moment I click on pay now, I will be redirected to the page where you can proceed with the payment. As you can see, this is the Razor Pay integration which has been done by me from my end on this account. You have the option to pay on all the available platforms, which is you can pay UPI, card, net banking, and wallet as well. So by this is how you raise an invoice for a particular customer. This is a manual invoice raising, which I have demonstrated for you guys. You can do this on the sales order as well. When you go to the sales order, the invoices which has been raised by a customer on your e-commerce platform will be reflecting here, and you can raise invoices in bulk actions as well. And there is one more thing to demonstrate you guys how it works on the e-commerce platform. I have signed up for a Shopify account. So this is my site where I give the option. So let's say I'm going to my store. This is the store I have live for my customers to make purchases. Not to give you or confuse you with most of the products, I've tried with just one particular product. So I'm going to choose the product, and I'm going to add the quantity, and I'm going to click on buy now. So these are all the contact information which I will be receiving from my customer when they are making a purchase. So when they enter the details, this details will be reflecting as customers in your books application. From there, you can integrate the books to your CRM where you can manage all your contacts at one particular place. So once the purchase has been made, this particular, since I'm not buying it right now, it will not be reflecting on the Zoho Books application. But once I click on pay now and the sales order or the order is placed, you will be seeing that information in your sales order as well. That is the option which has been enabled when you're integrating your Zoho Books with your online e-commerce website. And there is another option, there is another application in the Zoho end, which is Zoho Commerce. It is pretty much the same as the Zoho Shopify or WooCommerce and other e-commerce platforms. There is one difference that gives you a better advantage when it comes to Zoho Commerce is when you're creating a sales order on your Shopify website, that will reflect on your invoice, sorry, the sales order. But when you're creating an invoice or when a customer is purchasing something of your product on the Zoho Commerce built site, the invoice can be already generated. So what's the difference that we have identified right now? When an order is placed through Shopify, you will receive sales order only. But when you're creating an e-commerce platform using Zoho Commerce, you are you are not required to raise an invoice for that sales order, but an invoice is already raised automatically. So Shopify to order, and then to inventory, and then the sales order. But in the commerce, there is no need for raising an invoice again. So that will be all for the online payment gateways. Next is taxes. What does tax define when it comes to the place that you are in? So taxes plays a major role in a business, very major. For every item that you buy, we have options to enable taxes. There is something called GSTIN, which is the registered number of your business. When you're enabling it, you are obliged to pay taxes to the government. When every financial year, you have to make sure that you show all your records, that has been the transactions which has been made, so that your taxes are in place. There are two different segments when it comes to taxes. The first one is just tax, which is the sales tax. The sales, the every product that you make, every product that you sell has a tax. So that is the sales tax option. And there is another option called tax grouping, right? The place where I come from, there are different sections of the place, right? So the country I'm from is India, but the part where I'm is in Tamil Nadu, right? In Tamil Nadu itself, there are segments, there are districts which has been segregated. So when I'm buying a product from the place Chengalpattu, for example, I apply for the Tamil Nadu taxes and for the municipality tax of the Chengalpattu as well. So these are all the taxes that gets included when you are buying or making any purchase or a particular product. So why tax management is very important in the business solution? It keeps your businesses in compliant with regional tax laws, right? So here we have GST, VAT, sales tax, and much more. But when it comes to US, there is no such thing as sales tax or something that you can claim for your returns once your tax has been filed. But there is something called 1099 form. And what is this 1099 form? These are the bills that are generated for the contractors that you pay for. So for example, I'm building a house. I lend a contractor to work on this on a hourly basis, right? And this 1099 form, uh, which can be submitted for the bills in the international revenue services. There is nothing that much you can do about it, but this is the only option which is available in the US. And when it comes to UK, there is HMRC, which is applicable for the taxes as well. And this will reduce the risk of the errors, miscalculations, tax evasion penalties. Here we have penalties if you're paying delayed for your taxes, and which is already automated if you're working for a corporate company. This will help the business to set aside tax payments in advance to avoid cash shortages. This differs to every other region. As I can see, there are few people from India, few from US and other places. This can avoid your cash shortages and enable better budgeting and financial forecasting. We'll come to the forecasting part when it comes to the reports, and this business will automatically done when the tax deductions and payments. I'll show it to you on the taxes. 1 second. So in the settings, you can create your own tax. So these are the tax rates that can be defined. and you can define the rate, let's say 17 or 16%. This particular new tax can be applied businesses. This option is available since the region I'm in from. This can be enabled if you are a GSTIN enabled business. You can enable this and add your details. So this is the data integration architecture factors is something that I have explained throughout the session for your online platforming where you buy and sell your products. So this real-time website integration that you have for your e-commerce website to books will update product listing. This will allow you to your inventory and prices in real time with the e-commerce platform and stock in hand. Uh, I'll show it to you on the live account with a more demonstration. This will give you the order tracking, status updates, and enables your personalized shopping experience. Uh, this will give you the accurate availability of the products, preventing stocks and overselling. All this that I've mentioned automates your order processing, invoicing, shipping, and the overall experiences. So once an order has been placed in your inventory, this is the sales order. So first the customer comes in, and then if you want to give him a retainer invoice, you can create that, and then comes to the sales order. Next part is the packaging part. So once the order has been placed, we need to ensure that it has been packed and then it has been shipped. So for the shipments, we have to enable, I have this option to enable the shipment. I'll show it to you. Here we have the option to shipping. Here I have activated the after ship. Once you create an account in the after ship, once it has been enabled, there are furthermore options as UPS and much more, easy ship. Once this has been enabled, once an order has been placed in that particular portal, in the UPS portal, you will be given with a tracking ID and the link which can be shared to your customers. So that those details can be reflecting on the invoice that has been raised for your customers to see and track their items. So one of the shipments that I have made, if I open this shipment, there is this option called enable real-time tracking, right? So this is the tracking number that you receive from the UPS or whatever the delivery partner that you have tied up with, and the shipment account number, and the tracking key is the link that can be generated from the delivery portal. Once this has been enabled, you can send the status notification for your customers based on this as well. And delivery challans is something that that you a challan as a physical format of a slip or an invoice for that matter, when you're transferring your goods from your one warehouse to another, right? So you cannot blindly take your goods, pack them in the in the transport, and when you're sending it to another place, they will be asking what are the products that I'm receiving. So to let them know what you have got to deliver to them, that is where the delivery challans plays a major role. So next off will be the part where we narrow down all our business in one particular place: reporting and analysis, right? Why reporting and analysis is very much important when it comes to business? To ensure you have a very much a visibility of your business classification, right? This classifies your financials, financial statuses, sales, taxes, inventory banking, and project categories as well. These reports will help you to analyze your business performance, right? It not just analyzes your performance, and this will also optimize your cash flow. Every other slide that you have seen so far will have the word called cash flow, which is very key when it comes to businesses, which is why I also added it on every slide to give you an understanding how a business is very much required to make sure that the application is giving you the key feature of the cash flow of your business. And this customizable reports allows your business to generate insights tailored to your business needs. And when it comes to the Zoho Books, it will give you the comprehensive report system that will help business track finances, tax, sales, which is for the business performance. And these reports in the books are categorized into different sections. If I say different sections, you cannot even go through how many sections are actually there in this particular reports. I'll show it to you in the reports page. So, as I mentioned, these are the sections of or subdivisions of what are all the reports that can actually be seen when it comes to the Zoho books, depending on your business requirement. Every business has its own way of looking at the report or own way of categorizing how it can be improved in a better manner or how it can be managed when it comes to showing it to your online portal customers. Let's say you're selling your business to someone, you have to show them what purchases that you have made. For example, Shark Tank. So you have to tell them what exactly that the product that you have purchased and what have you sold so far, and what is your profit, and what is everything that has been done in your business, right? So to give them a complete picture of how exactly your business is running, reports is your only answer of how it can be shown. So there are so many things. I'm gonna quickly walk you through profit and loss. So profit and loss is the overall idea of a particular time of when your business has started till what time you want your loss and profit has to be generated. This can be exported, and there are furthermore, which is very basic in the reports, which is the general ledger. I'm pretty sure it's a quite an old word when it's a ledger. Most of them are calling it as an accounting or an accountant who takes care of it, right? So when it comes to general ledger, it is the overall picture of what has been done throughout your business account. So this can be anything and everything: the purchase that you've made with your vendors, the sales order which has been placed by your customers, each and everything which will be visible based on your accounting. It's just like a digitalized format of what your business has done within your organization. And there is balance sheet, inventory validation, summary report. There is one more report that I would like to talk now, is the ABC classification. ABC classification is very much important when you're in the goods selling, or someone who's doing a physical selling of your e-commerce website, I mean products on your e-commerce website, right? So these are the goods which I have at my e-commerce site. This will give you the classification. I'm sure you're wondering what C defines, right? The ABC defines, the A defines the product which has been sold the very most number of times, and B defines half of it. Let's say I have 10 goods and only 5 of them has been sold, so that's half of the items has been sold. That will be coming under the category as B. And the C is the least number of product which has been sold on your e-commerce platform. So Well, if I talk about reports and the analysis of what can be done in the books, it would take a complete day for me. But for now, I'm ending the classifications of report from my end.